everyone.
Hi, Asha.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Erin. Hi, Gretchen. Hi, Bob. Hi, Ebony. So great to have everyone on the call. Yay.
I'm so glad you all could make it.
We are so excited to hold this call and hold this offering. I am particularly excited because I am a perpetual student of Asha's and all the magic that she brings to this group and to my life. And as I kind of alluded to before, I am by no means an expert in the law of attraction, but oh my gosh, Asha is. And we are so lucky to have her hosting this call tonight to bring us all to our highest and best in this month of Manifestation May. And there's no better month to kick this off. We just finished our summit. A new season's upon us. And as we inch out of this pandemic that we're all in, this is a time for us to really get back into what we want out of our lives and how we want to live and what we want to manifest in our life. And I'm learning through Asha's patient guidance the power of the law of attraction and the power of manifestation. And my personal hope for doing this with Asha is that I can learn how to make this a daily practice and learn how to really hone these skills. I find myself doing it kind of hit or miss, and I know Asha's going to talk to us a little bit about that too, about being pure with our intentions um, and really dialing into the magic that is the law of attraction. But to start, we've all had, kickoff to the week. We're past the Monday and we're into our Tuesday. So before we get started, let's all kind of get ourselves anchored and settled and drop in with a little presence. As Asha and I were preparing for this call, she mentioned that the law of attraction, one of Abraham-Hicks, who's the creator of the law of attraction, one of her practices is to do 60 deep breaths every day. And we won't do that today. We're going to do a few less than that. But, our breath is how we come to presence. Our breath is our life source. It's our energy. And so now, if you just all get comfortable, wherever you're seated, wherever you are in the world, really feel yourself in that space. Drop your eyelids closed and feel your sit bones anchor into your seat. And really kind of wiggle in there and feel yourself getting rooted. Our first breath is going to be just that. We're going to breathe ourselves down with a big inhale and take it all the way into our lungs and feel it go all the way down into our seat, through our seat, and rooting down into the earth. Pachamama, where we all come from, where we all return. And as we exhale, let that, everything that's in our way, start to release. And breathe it all out. Another big deep breath in. Feel those roots extend and grow and thicken like hands grasping the dirt down into the earth. And once again, exhale anything that doesn't serve us, that stands in our way, that may be weighing our shoulders down. And with that exhale, feel your shoulders really start to soften. This next big inhale, I want you to breathe it in from the crown of your head. Really draw in the celestial life force that's around us at all times. Feel it root down into your body. Feel it go through all of your chakras. And just as we breathed it in, we're going to breathe it back out, cleansing all those little crevices in those chakras that might be holding energy that's not ours or doesn't serve us. With this next breath, guide yourself into where you need to anchor and where you need to draw. And as you exhale, feel yourself release anything that stands in your way, anything that you're carrying. This next breath, we're going to breathe in our brothers and sisters on this call. We're going to breathe in the energy of community, and the power of two or more gathering for a shared focus, a shared purpose, a shared intention. And as we breathe out, we're going to breathe out anything that stands in the way of that connection, any self-doubt that we have, any worries that we carry. And with one big final breath, this is our last straw into our presence. We are here. We are connected. And with an exhale, we open our hands and feel ourselves ready to receive this teaching, this wisdom, this power, the power of the law of attraction. And as we softly flutter our eyes open, find the faces of these friends, this community, and all of us as we share our intention today to join and connect and amplify our power through the law of attraction. And what we'd like to do first is really just start off by meeting everyone that's on this call. Some of us have met before and some of us haven't. So I thought what we could do first is just kind of go around and introduce ourselves, where we're from, and what our impression of the law of attraction is. What do we know? What do we think the law of attraction is? And we'll open ourselves up to hearing what Asha has to share. And since I've been talking, I'll keep talking. I'm Jen Thomas, coming to you from Detroit, Michigan. And I know the law of attraction. I've listened to Abraham-Hicks for a long time and really tried to absorb, but haven't really put it into my daily practice. I know the law of attraction is a powerful tool for manifestation and for implementing power in our life. But admittedly, I'm not really sure how it works. And I'm not really sure the best ways to implement it in my life. And that's why I'm here today. So I open up the floor to see whoever wants to go next with an introduction, where you're from, and what you know the law of attraction to be.
I can jump on.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
Well, I'm Aaron, and I'm from Northeast Ohio. And I've been on a journey here the last 18 months. 18 months ago, I had never heard of the law of attraction, but a teacher that helped me wake up kind of introduced me to it. So I know of it, understand its energetics, and I really am not, I don't feel like practicing it in fullness at all. I've never had any practices to daily implement it. I feel like I am using it to an extent, manifesting things in my life, but very interested in learning more. So that's me. And I also wanted to show up to see Asha smile too. So.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for going first after Jen. I really appreciate it. Who else would like to go and share their name and where they're from and what their understanding of the law of attraction is? You could just unmute yourself and start talking.
Okay, I think you were talking to me. I'm Ebony. I'm from Illinois, and I guess my introduction to the law of attraction was a couple of years ago. I was practicing it before I heard the term law of attraction and was using it for a good year and a half to travel. And it wasn't until I started to actually implement it more into my life with a deeper understanding, which kind of made for a funny process because now I'm kind of like mental about it in a way and starting to let that go. So just constantly learning more and just, yeah, in and out of alignment and understanding more about what I want and who I am. And I'm here to support you, Asha, and just learn more and see your perspective on it and just to be a part of this community and this event right now.
Awesome. Thank you, Ebony, for sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, who would like to go next? You could just unmute yourself and start talking. Bob?
I nominate Gretchen. You go.
Okay. Hey, Bob. I'm Gretchen. I am from San Diego, California. I've known about the law of attraction for a while. I've read the book, The Secret, and I'm just actually interested in learning more and how Jen said it, implement it in my daily life. I'm aware of it, but I'd like to dive deeper and see how I can use it in my daily life, because I can really use it right now.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gretchen. Are you ready, Bob?
Yes. I mean, looking at me, you wouldn't think that I would need to be more attractive, but just kidding. Man, I was like, I'm just gonna go do my laundry quick, and then I ran into like a tenant of mine, and I was like, "Where's my money?" And it really sucked. So it really put me in a weird headspace. So, yeah. So I'm here to just get to learn some of the basics. I've been a skeptic for a long time, and without really knowing that much about it, and I feel like this is a super good place to actually open up and learn about it from a pro. So thanks for doing this, Asha.
Thank you for coming, Bob. Forgot I muted myself. Okay. Would anyone else like to go introduce yourself, name, where you're from, and what your understanding of the law of attraction is?
Hi, everybody. I'm Jennifer, and I am from Santa Cruz, California. And I suppose I was inclined to come on here because I'm certainly curious about other people's perspectives on this topic, and to be more conscious, even more conscious of my creations, and be more aware and more in alignment. And yeah, I think I'm in a place of curiosity and openness. So I'm really excited to kind of delve into this topic. And I suppose when I look at my life, which feels really yummy and juicy right now, I realize that I've had this it's not by default, it's very, very conscious. And I just want to expand that. And so I feel mostly curious.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing, Jen. And
I love that life is not by default thing. That's a quote right there. I love that very much, Jen. That was awesome.
To piggyback off of that, and to sort of address everyone that's shared so far, I'll actually be addressing sort of almost everything you guys mentioned as far as your understanding of the law of attraction. Hopefully through this call, you will have some clarification as to at least my understanding, which I feel is the best understanding of the law of attraction. And then of course, if you guys have questions throughout, then you're more than welcome to ask them. But I do want to offer an opportunity for the person that called in on the phone to offer your name, where you're from, and your understanding of the law of attraction, if you would like, before you proceed.
Well, my name is Melvina, and I am Asha's mother, and she invited me onto this call, and I'm in Indiana. And I've heard of the law of attraction previously. I think one of my struggles is trying to make myself so that the things I want are attracted to me. So I'm just here to just hear more about it, learn more about it, so that I can apply it to my life. And that is it.
Awesome. Thank you, Mom, for sharing and for coming. And I hope that this call will illuminate a lot for you too, past what we've talked about privately.
Yeah.
Can we take a moment to thank Melvina for making such an amazing human that is Asha? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for that gift to our world. We appreciate you and we appreciate her. So thank you, Mama.
Thank you for birthing me so I could come here and do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with a few questions to sort of gauge baseline. And I feel like these will probably be straight shooters, but let's go ahead. So do you guys believe that everything has a vibrational frequency, meaning that everything is moving? You can just nod or say yes. Okay, perfect. Do you believe that things attract other things that are like it? Okay, got it. Overall, yes. Okay, so the law of attraction is happening with everything that's physical and everything that's non-physical. That means everything that we can see and things that we can't see. Things are grouping together and groups of things that are similar to it. An example would be, you tend to find that, think about high school, right? All those sort of like kids that are into sort of the same sort of things tend to gravitate and group towards each other. That isn't just like random, like that's the law of attraction working. It's also how our bodies are formed. We have organs because groups of like cells with a similar purpose have clumped together to form these organs, to form our bodies. So it's happening it's happening everywhere all the time. And a lot of people say, like, I'm doing a law of attraction. And you can't really do the law of attraction. The law of attraction is happening. It's a law. What we're doing and what people do is we study it. We try to understand how it's working, understand how it's working in our reality and in our lives so that we can act more in accordance with it in a more intentional way. By increasing our awareness of the law of attraction, we can start changing what's actually happening around us. I gave this analogy in a last call, and I really feel like it's such a good analogy, and I'm going to use the analogy of a river. So it's like studying a river as to know where to put a hydropower plant so you can get the most output out of this river. And the water of the river is your inner being. It's the natural positive flow of source energy. You could call it God, you could call it the universe, you can call it our spirit, our soul. It's that energy, that's the naturally flowing water. You don't have to tell it to flow, it just flows, it does its thing. Now, any dams or blockages are ways in which you're resisting or limiting the natural flow through your beliefs or through your actions. The catch is that you don't really need to focus on removing the dam or the blockages, which is what a lot of the work that's done in the conscious community is focused on, is like digging into the issue, digging into the problem, releasing and removing, and like really diving into the things that's getting in the way. What you actually want to do is not focus on that, because what we focus on is what we get more of. There is no law of exclusion. So if you say, I don't want to date men who are disrespectful, let's say. I don't want to date bad men. I don't want to date men that are mean or rude or abusive, whatever, right? All the universe hears is abusive men. That's all the universe hears. It doesn't hear, I don't want that, but that's all that it hears. And so that's what it keeps sort of turning up, because that's where the energy is focused. What I want you to know is that the naturally flowing river, that source energy, that non-physical energy, it has the strength and the power and the intelligence to wash away any block or restriction. So you don't actually have to worry about removing or releasing or getting rid of that thing that you feel like is holding you back, because source energy, your inner being, has already done that for you. You just have to focus on where the river's taking you, where natural flow is taking you. And then the obstacles will take care of themselves and they won't be standing in your way. Now, the next part of this is that nothing is a coincidence, right? We talk a lot about synchronicities and like, oh, this happened and this thing happened. It feels like these things are connected, or, I don't understand why this is happening and this is happening and what have you. For me, it really simplified when I started looking at every single thing as a reflection of me. The world is a mirror. Your dreams are a mirror. Your relationships are a mirror. A mirror of what exactly? And that is your vibrational frequency, your emotions, your thoughts, your beliefs. When you begin to look at the events in your life through the lens of intentionality, everything begins to make sense. The universe is extremely purposeful and it has an order. And when we understand that, we're not at the whim of these unseen forces. We can begin to co-create with them, and we take note of what's happening, and then we recalibrate so as to change the output. We have our part, and God, the universe, non-physical energy has their part. And when you're in the flow of your inner being, when you're in the flow of aligning with yourself and doing what feels good and allowing what you want, life can begin to surprise you and delight you in ways you can't even imagine. And so to clarify, right, what's our part and what's non-physical's part? What's God's part? What's the universe's part, right? The first step is to ask for what you want. And the asking isn't necessarily, you don't even have to say it out loud, because you already know what you want. Your inner being knows what you want. So it's not always like I have to state out loud what I want, although the talking does help some people, but it's really asking for what you want. The second step, which is not your part, is allowing God, the universe, non-physical energy to answer. And that answer comes immediately. The answer is there as soon as you ask the question, it is there. Step 3 is allowing the answer or the manifestation into your reality. And that's the epitome of the divine feminine. That's aligning with your inner being. That's getting into a place of feeling good so that the answers and the manifestations can flow in easily. In the workshop series that me and Jen are actually going to start on May 8th, we're going to go into detail, even more detail on these 3 steps, and go beyond these 3 steps as well. But as far as like what you can do now to allow in what you desire and stop feeding what you don't, is just gratitude, appreciation. And I challenge anyone that's not doing it to one page a day of gratitude in the morning. Just start writing things that you feel grateful for, things that you're appreciative, things that make you feel good to talk about. It doesn't have to be on something, I don't know, it doesn't have to feel like work, right? Like if you've been dealing a lot with trying to tap into like your feminine more, you don't have to do your appreciation about feminine stuff. You can do it about something totally random, something else that you really enjoy, like video games, right? The point is that you want to get into a good feeling place every single day. And it doesn't matter what it takes for you to get there. It could be video games, it could be donuts, it could be, I don't know, puppies, it could be whatever, right? But once you're in that good feeling place, then all the things you allow related to all aspects of your life can begin to actually flow in. So that is the basics of the law of attraction that I have for you today. And I'm curious if any of you have any follow-up questions, any things you've been having issues with or struggling with in relation to it, and nothing's off limits.
I have a question, and that is regarding, you said your inner being knows what it wants. I'm in a place where I'm struggling to know what I want. many years of being disconnected from desire, and the things that I wanted being told they were wrong all my growing up here. So I'm just, breaking through those molds. And I believe that my inner being does know what it wants, but I'm wrestling with trying to come in alignment and figuring out even what it is. Because sometimes I feel like it's conflicting. I want this and this. They conflict with each other. And so how much of identifying what it is do we need to know in our intellect?
Okay. So what comes up for me immediately with that is that you don't have to consciously know what these things you want are, right? Like, for example, let's say that your birthday's coming up, right? And you've sort of planned like a dinner. You planned a dinner, you invited people, and that's it. You're going to show up and you're going to have your party, right? When the party happens, though, there's all these other components in there that will come and happen and surprise and delight you. Someone may give you a gift of something that you didn't even know that you wanted, but is amazing, and that you would love to have it, and that you're glad that you have it. Manifestation could work in that way. There are things that we want that sometimes we don't. Sometimes we've got things in the way. We've got blocks, we got dams that are blocking us from even acknowledging on some level that we would want something like that. But once we get into a place where we're feeling good, like when you're with your friends, you're having dinner, you're just enjoying yourself, you're really in a place of allowing, then it can slip in and you're like, wow, I didn't even know that I wanted that, but I did know on some level, and I'm so happy that I have it. And so my main tip to you would be just do things that feel good. And those ideas that come when you're feeling good, those are things that you want. And maybe they might be a little bit different from things you were told when you were growing up. Maybe they'll be a little bit contradictory, but that's okay. It doesn't matter what those people think. Your inner being would never lead you to do something or want something that would not be in your best interest, that would not make you feel good or make you feel happy. And over time, if you don't already believe that, you'll come to believe it. Did I answer your question? Do you have any follow-ups to that?
No, I think you answered it there. That seems to be to land, to just follow joy, follow happiness, and it will align and it will come to fruition. I love the birthday gift analogy there.
Yeah, good. Yay. I'm glad that helped. Okay. Anyone else have any questions, concerns? Nothing's off limits.
Wow. Well, when you said that it would be, that it's a good idea, or that it's, I forgot how you put it, but that a good practice, serving suggestion, I guess, for the law of attraction is a morning, like a daily gratitude journal, like kind of a journaling practice, or however you want to do it, a list, or so I do that pretty much daily, but I don't actually write it out. I either think it, if like I'm in like around other people, or I speak it out loud. And do you feel like that's it's a similar thing? I mean, do you feel like it would have a similar effect, or do you feel like writing it is more effective?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So the main reason why I recommend doing that is because the goal is to get into a place where you're feeling good, where you're feeling appreciation. So you don't actually have to write if you're feeling appreciation, right? So if thinking it results in you feeling appreciation, if you talking about it results in you feeling appreciation, then do it the way you've been doing. But if you're doing it one way and you're just going through the motions, but you're not really feeling it, then you might maybe want to try like a different way, because the whole point is to get your emotions there.
Yeah, no, that's literally the main guiding principle is that I have to feel it, not just say it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, no,
Well,
you're good, man.
yeah. Well, and what I'll say, in addition to that, and maybe this is for you, Aaron, although, brother, I just want to like call you and fucking talk, because I was like in the same place that you were like not that long ago. Where I was like, I don't fucking know what I want. How am I supposed to manifest what I don't know? But what I'll say is that a lot of times I'll give gratitude for things that aren't necessarily there yet, right? Or that, things that I'm trying to actually call in, like like wisdom, I don't have any, but I would like to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you get the idea.
Yeah. I mean, so like it's the same with any of these feelings, right? Like you want wisdom, you want understanding, you want clarity. Well, it's tapping into what does it feel like to be wise, right? Wisdom feels like knowing. Wisdom feels like unhurried, unworried. Wisdom feels like in control, but also allowing. Wisdom feels like I'm capable. Wisdom feels like, so it's like, what does that feel like? And it's sort of like even talking yourself through that feeling of whatever the feeling you want to increase. And so instead of saying like, oh, I'm not wise, so saying, no, I am wise. Wisdom's coming to me. Every day I'm more wise. And these are the ways in which I see myself gaining wisdom every single day. And so the more you feel that, the more it will increase. So yeah. Mm-hmm. I also wanted to speak to what you said about relating to Aaron saying like, oh, I don't know what I want. And I just want to throw this out there and pose that what if what you want, what if your whole purpose for being here, for being a human is to be joyful and to have fun and feel good? What if that's it? And everything else you get to decide. You're not coming to save the world. You're not coming to, I don't know, reverse generational trauma. You're not coming to save the planet. You're here to feel good and to do what makes you happy and makes you joyful. And the how or what of that is entirely up to you. So I'm just throwing it out there. And again, we're still open for questions.
I have a piggyback to like Aaron's question too about, the difference between like what you said earlier about not wanting a crappy boyfriend and all they hear is crappy boyfriend. If you're pointed in the direction, if you don't know what you want specifically, it wouldn't be useful then to say, I know I don't want this feeling. And then just like hop over to the opposite side of whatever that is. Like I want, I don't want a shitty boyfriend, but instead say, I want a fruitful and beneficial relationship or something like that.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. It's shifting your focus to, okay, I know what I don't want. That's obviously clear, right? Now I know I need to shift my focus to what I do want, because I know that what I focus on is what I get. So I'm going to focus on instead a healthy relationship, an abundant relationship, a relationship where we're not codependent on each other, a relationship where we're both two sovereign beings who've just decided to have fun together, a relationship where we're equal, a relationship where I'm valued for my strengths and my gifts, and I value them for their strengths and their gifts. So sort of along that strain.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking. All right, who else out there has a question, concern, topic they want to discuss?
Ebony made a good point earlier about like getting out of the way of ourselves, like, and I think kind of what Aaron said, we tend to, if we focus on specifics, sometimes that can get in our way, or the need to be specific can get in our way. What are some of the other things that conflict us on this path. Like, you know, I've heard a lot of people say they try to do law of attraction, but then they maybe have a limiting belief or something that kind of it's a blocker, and they might not even realize it's there.
Yeah. So the thing about what gets in the way, I would say the thing that probably gets in the way the most is trying too hard. It's trying too hard on it. Because like, let's use money, for example. Money is a popular one. So if I'm like trying to get over my money blocks, I'm trying to release these root chakra blocks around money, I'm trying to manifest money. A lot of times when someone even thinks about money, they start getting all like clenched and they start getting tight, and then they can feel it. And it's just like, you're like, I am abundant, I am prosperous. Like, it's not, they're lying to themselves. It's, you're trying too hard and it's just like not working because you've got so much built up around that. And really the best way to allow that to slowly dissipate is to not even talk about money. Just stop talking about that topic that gets you all worked up, because it gets you in the feeling of not good feelings around money. And you want to slow the momentum behind that. That momentum is probably built up for years. You want to slow it. And in lieu of trying to soften it, the best thing to do is just turn your focus away from it. Focus on something that makes you feel good. And slowly over time, your limiting beliefs and whatnot around money will soften. When you feel good and you feel better, you might get an inspired idea to go buy something that you've been wanting to buy, like a GoPro. You've like seen yourself out like filming and surfing or doing whatever with this GoPro, and you can see it and you can feel it. And you're like, yeah, that will feel great. That's a great time to go spend some money. Or you might be inspired to, I don't know, start budgeting. Someone comes to you and talks about how they downloaded this new budgeting app by Dave Ramsey or something, and it really worked for them. And you're in a good feeling place and you're receptive. You're like, yeah, I'll do that. But on the flip side, if you are, you know, looking through your finances, you're looking at your bank statements, you're like, I don't have enough money. I don't feel good right now. I don't know what to do about this. I need to budget it. I need to do this now. I'm going to download this app. Okay. You don't want to do that because that's coming from a feeling place of not enough lack. And then when we do things out of a feeling of not feeling good, we just get more of that feeling. Versus when you do something because you feel inspired to do it from a feeling good place, then those feelings are multiplied. Did that help? Did that nicely help? I know it's a little long.
Of course it helped. That was awesome. Thank you.
Cool, cool. All right, anyone else have any other questions, concerns, topics they want to discuss?
Yeah, I wanted to say something. Oh, wait, I heard somebody else speaking.
Go for it, Ebony.
Okay, I'm laying down and I'm enjoying this, so I'm going to stay here. I'm sorry if you guys can't see me very well. I didn't necessarily have a question. You guys are asking all really, really great questions. I wanted to know if you would just speak a little bit more, Asha, to the whole contrast thing. When you know what you don't want, because that's usually what comes up first, how it incites what we do want, even if we're not like consciously aware of it, but how easily, like, to use contrast of a tool and just like know it's okay when we do see something negative and do see something that we don't like, and how that can help us. If you could just elaborate on that a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you could definitely talk on this subject yourself because you're pretty knowledgeable on the law of attraction. But yeah, so contrast, the way it's defined is contrast is simply the difference in feeling between two different emotions, right? Like anger is contrasting to joy, right? I don't know, breaking your leg is contrasting to being healthy. So contrast is the difference between two different states. And contrast is usually used to describe a negative state or a negative event or a negative place of being. And the thing about contrast is it's unavoidable. We're humans, right? We live in a physical world where there are polarities, there are binaries. There's going to be up and there's going to be down. There's going to be good experiences, going to be not so great experiences. And what's I found really empowering about contrast is that once you recognize that I needed to have this experience so that something better could come from it. I needed to have this experience so that I know what I do want. I needed to have this experience so that when I do feel joy, when I do feel appreciation, that I can actually feel the difference between the two and it feels good. If we were happy and joyful all the time and never had any contrasting experiences, it'd be boring. I feel like that's what it's like when you die. That's what it's like to be non-physical, right? You go, it's happy all the time and it's boring. So we need that contrast, and so that we can discern, so that we can decide, and so that we can choose. And so that's the main purpose of contrast. And it's a really wonderful thing. So, I mean, the next time that you lock your keys in your car, be grateful and thankful for locking your keys in your car, because that created a desire of maybe slowing down and not rushing, and knowing that you want to live a life where you've got plenty of time, you've got everything in order, and everything just works out. And it's a world where you don't like your keys in your car. That's what I would say about contrast.
Awesome. That's good.
Thank you for asking the question.
Yeah, I feel like it's important to understand when those things happen, because sometimes we can get caught up in them and, you know, go down the path of like trying to figure out why it happened, and okay, I did something wrong, and you don't want to go there, because then you start asking for more of that, and that's the opposite direction of where your inner being is actually calling you towards. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anyone else?
So on that was a really good question. Or Ebony, I appreciated that. That was helpful. So that brings me to, okay, specifics. When I know a specific I want it, for example, I needed foam for my business and there's shortages right now. And I'd ordered a truckload and waited 4 weeks and it hadn't showed up yet. So I started being thankful that it was showing up, and then it showed up. I mean, it happened twice here in the last 6 months. So, but what I struggle is, I don't like the word struggle. Finances have been tight in the last number of weeks. The business has had some challenges this year. And so I have, from that place of looking at my credit card bills and, darn it, we need to get on a budget, you know, and feeling that constriction and all that there. When you're in the middle of that, it feels really constricting. How do you got tools for, in that point, seeing the contrast to it? Or is it just simply a metacognition of being able to look at your thinking and start switching it?
Yeah, so the worst time to tell someone that like you create your own reality and that everything's a reflection of you is when things feel like they're going wrong, right? When you're mad, when you're feeling tight, when you're like, it feels like there's not enough, the last thing you probably want to do is go to your journal and start journaling about that thing you're mad about. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend, if you're feeling like you're in that place, to try to do something to get out of it, because you can't get there from there. You can't get to you can't get to joy from feeling like you don't have enough. It's too big of a gap. And so honestly, I would just recommend when you're in that place, leave it alone and do some things that sort of help you feel better. Some broad options would be maybe take a nap. Naps are really great for resetting your energy. Take a nap. Go do something that's relaxing, like maybe watching TV, a phone call. Just do something that's totally off of the subject to get you away from those feelings. Because when you're feeling that, you're not allowing. The answers aren't going to come because you're not in a place to receive them. You're focused on finances have been tight the past few weeks and I've got these bills. But if maybe it's a couple hours later, you ate some food, you got refreshed, maybe you talked to someone about, I don't know, the weather, and you're feeling in a better feeling place, and then you have an idea, okay, maybe I will go download some app to do some budgeting. That's probably a better time to do it because you're in a much better feeling place at that point. And you're gonna be able to get out of that what you're seeking to get out of that. And when you take that inspired step, you're probably going to get another inspired step to do something else maybe related to your finances or not. But the whole point is that when you take the action, the masculine part of that, you want it to be informed by the divine feminine. You want to be informed by feeling good, by inspiration, by your intuition. And we can really only access that we're in a place of feeling good. You're rubbing your beard. Do you have more to say on the topic? Do you have more to ask? You're muted.
I just said I just like my beard, so I touch it a lot.
Oh.
No, that was helpful. It really was, and I think that's because that was when the teacher that first kind of taught me about this whole concept. I felt that, well, if I'm manifesting everything, that I'm in a bad headspace. No, I'm just manifesting destruction on myself, and then it would be this spiraling downwards, getting worse thing, and it didn't bring a lot of life.
Well, I hope this isn't like that.
No, this is beautiful. This is beautiful.
Okay, good. Okay, does anyone have anything else? I think we probably have time for one more question or topic before we wrap up. Okay, I would take that as my cue as there being no more questions. So me and Jen are going to be doing a 7-week law of attraction workshop. And this workshop is going to be starting on May 8th. That is a Saturday. Yes. And it'll be repeating for the 6 consecutive Saturdays after that. It starts 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yes, time sounds right. That is 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the workshop runs about 2 hours depending. And each week, there'll just be one Zoom call on that Saturday. You will get daily journal prompts that have a prompt for the morning and the evening. And on some of them have prompts to do during the day. And I recommend that you have a journal for this. And I'll sort of go into like what we're going to be talking about each week. So week 1, we'll go even more in depth on the law of attraction basics, talking more about gratitude and intention setting for the 7 weeks. Week 2, you'll learn vibrational delegation, segment intending, and how to build your law of attraction daily practice. And we'll have actually Tanyette Colin as a guest speaker on that one. Week 3, you're going to be learning high vibrational storytelling of the past. Week 4 is high vibrational storytelling of the future. Week 5 is learning the focus wheel technique and pivoting. And Claire Spencer is going to be a guest speaker on that call. Week 6, you're going to learn quantum dreaming, and there'll be a special announcement. And then week 7 is the last week, which will celebrate our successes, our reflections, and we'll wrap up the series. For all 7 weeks, the cost is $66. And if you really would love to attend, but are feeling a bit tight, there are some scholarships available. And so I just want to really thank you all for attending and see if you guys had any questions about the workshop series that me and Jen are offering.
Are the meetings recorded if we can't make one?
Yes, the meetings will be recorded. So if you can't make some, then you can just watch the recording. In theory, we love to have everyone on all the calls, but we understand that people have things to do. So yes, all the meetings are recorded and you can simply watch the recordings as well.
And we'd offer up too that if you need, one-on-one discussion or conversation, Ash is the one with the questions, and if she's not available, I can at least chat with you and get questions. And this interactivity and this ability to
bounce things back and forth and dive deeper is one of the most valuable assets I think that Asha definitely brings to this course. So we would definitely be available to chat with you offline if you're not able to make the call.
And just to add to that, I failed to mention that there is also going to be a private WhatsApp group for this as well. So that between the sessions in the week, if people have questions, want to share what's going on, something really weird happened, whatever, then we can still conversate, discuss in between. So that'll definitely, that will be an excellent place to put any questions that you would have if you feel comfortable.
I love that idea. Very advanced in law of attraction. I'd love to learn from people that sign up for the course and that are and Ebony too is very knowledgeable about it. So but in the course of the course as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, anyone else have any questions about the workshop series or anything else before we wrap up?
Yeah, is the course going to be held over Zoom? Is that like where the videos are going to be and be recorded?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's all.
All right, that was a really short one. We have time for another question.
The only thing that will come up for me over if we do it over the next Saturdays over the next 8 weeks is this is right over the season where I like taking my family out on weekends fishing or doing fun stuff. So some of the depending on the weather, it just could conflict there, but I think we can make it work. So
I think so too. I think that if you're feeling inspired to do it, that everything will work out perfectly. And maybe you don't know how yet, but it will. Okay, any other questions?
I love you.
Oh, I love you too, Bob. Okay.
If anybody would like to sign up tonight, the link is in the comments and I can also send it your way too if you're interested.
Thank you, Jen.
thank you, Jen. Thank you, Asha.
Thank you.
Thank
y'all
you.
for coming. I really
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it.
It was really insightful. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course. Oh, well, I guess this is good night, y'all. I love you. Bye. Be happy.
Bye. Love y'all.
Thank you.